Hello and welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. It might be one of those videos again. Hello, if you're new to if you're new to the channel, hello and welcome. Come on in. All my returning viewers, you know how it's gonna go, I guess. So here we are today to do another final pour episode in Mr. Randy's revisited series. Today we're going to be showcasing the final pour of J&B Rare. It's a blending of the finest old Scotch whiskies, Justerini and Brooks. It is coming in at, boom, 40% alcohol by volume. Yeah, it's a Diageo product, but I guess we'll let it slide because it is J&B Rare. So we're here for the final pour. Let's do the quick run, just go ahead, top it off. There we go. For all my new viewers out there and those just passing by, this is the third part in a three-part series Mr. Randy does when he does a review for whiskey, wine, brews, tequilas, libations of sorts. Part one, all the way back here, off the rip. Get it home, crack it open, pour it in a glass, have my first impressions, and share them with you. Part two is called the full review. We stop right about here-ish, and I leave what's left in a bottle for a week, 2 weeks, depending on scheduling and availability. I will go on the internet. I will find as much, and most likely, definitely most likely, as little information as possible. I'll come back and present it to you. I'll score it. We'll talk about it. We'll continue drinking it. Part three, we are here today, final pour, thusly named. I pour the final pour in the glass. We compare it to the first pour off the rip and everything in between. So this bottle should be very recognizable to probably the vast majority of you that are watching this video. That green bottle with the yellow label with the red, that should stand out way on the bottom shelf. If you're tall like me, if you're like 6'4", you probably won't see this. It's probably back underneath the shadowy area. That's very unfortunate because that tells me that there's going to be a lot of people out there who probably haven't tried this. If you haven't tried it, please try it. It's $20 on average. It's $20-ish on average for the 750. They do have a 1.75 liter, this is my third bottle of J&B Rare. The first bottle, which I had back in early to mid 2025, didn't quite rub me the right way. But then by the time I got down here, probably to the last quarter of the bottle, I started to appreciate it more. That's because I started enjoying more Scotch. And the more Scotch I enjoyed, the more I enjoyed more Scotch. Scotch is a sort of thing you have to develop an appreciation. Don't get me wrong, the quality is there already. Trust me on that. It's there already. You just have not acclimated yourself to its quality. It's kind of like wine. Sometimes wine can be great and amazing. And I've done a few bottles recently on wine. If you're into wine, go ahead and check out those in the library. But continuing on. So this is my revisiting series, a part of my revisiting series, where I go back and I look at these bottles that I've had before, thusly saying, hey, I didn't care much for it until I got down to here. Something changed during the relationship and it got better. So now I'm coming back a year later and trying all those whiskeys, preferably Scotch, that I tried in the beginning and somehow didn't quite like them at first, but maybe I thought I'm going to give these a second chance. Parameters also include roughly about $20 out the door. They have to be something not exotic, something that you are going to see. If you go into any one of your bottle stores, you're going to see this somewhere. If they sell Scotch in the store, that's going to be on the shelf. And most of the ones that are going to be in this revisiting series are going to consist of such things. You are going to see it on the shelf. It is going to be roughly about $20 for the bottle out the door. These are going to come in regularly about 40% alcohol by volume. The majority of these bottles will also be on shelves at bars and or restaurants because they're well known, they're inexpensive, and they just work. So let's work this one. Whew, that's got a beautiful nose. It's still got some great characters. It's bright and shiny. All bright and shiny. If you know what show that comes off of, go ahead and leave that in the comments. I Aim to Misbehave. There's your second clue to that show. I Aim to Misbehave. It's all bright and shiny. It's bright. It's kind of crisp. Almost like a gin. It's making me think about gin. But it's got a weird twist to that citrus kind of thing where it switches over between the sweet caramel and like the citrus. And then there's that honey and spice and oak that comes and dances around in the background. Let's go ahead and get that first palating done, because you know that first palating can be misleading. So let's go ahead and get that first one done. Oh yeah. Now, if you've watched the other video where I did the Cutty Sark, this is very comparable. But in the end, J&B Rare edges out over the Cutty Sark. If you don't like anything too bold or anything too spicy, the Cutty Sark is probably going to be for you. It's very light, it's very mild, it's very easy. The J&B Rare, on the other hand, is much bolder. Go ahead and get that second one on and we could talk about the palate. Viscosity is well enough. Look at that. It's pretty good. I'll say that viscosity is pretty good. And it does transfer well to the mouth. It's not as much as I would say the Cutty Sark does. But there always has to be some trade-offs. Give and take, if you will. I think the characters that this J&B Rare gives is a lot more than what was taken. It's definitely got a more of a spicy ethanol sort of nose. It gives it more of a presence, especially compared side to side with that Cutty Sark. And the flavor profiles are also more robust. Let me get one more on there. I do believe I talked about the story behind this J&B Rare. So this was bought out by a corporation. Okay, so I can't remember completely, but it was bought out by these people, and it was turned into a major thing. And then they started shipping it to the States during the Prohibition area, around about there, where the Cutty Sark was already there. It was already here. The Cutty Sark was already here. Here comes the J&B Rare and smashed and sank that ship. Because it's more rich, it's more bold. So let's go ahead and get this finish done, and then we'll put this one to bed. For any of you that are following along for these little pop culture movie references, I put one or maybe two in each one of my videos. I'm sort of opening it up a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and solve the puzzle for those that haven't quite got it yet. So the movie that's been coming along in the pop culture references and quizzes for the J&B Rare, the movie's called The Thing. Okay. McCready, who is the helicopter pilot who sits up in his tower, and he plays chess with the computer. He's sitting there with a bottle of, and he gets beaten by the computer, and he just goes ahead and he pours his drink into the computer and fries it. It's pretty funny. But then again, you see throughout the film that this bottle shows up a few more times. It's being used as a what? A Molotov cocktail. I don't know if this is actually that flammable, I mean, it is 40%, but still, of course, you're gonna. I knew you were gonna do it. I knew it. That you get me every single time. Same time. Ooh. Anywho, I don't even know if I want to. I mean, I just might one day. I might buy a bottle of this, grab a rag, and go out into the middle of the nowhereness here in Texas, and I might just stuff that rag in there, light it up, and throw it against a rock to see if we can actually do that. I don't think so. I don't think there's enough in there, 40%, 80 proof. I don't think there's enough in there to do that. I think it can burn, but it's not going to be like flaming like that. He probably uses aviation fuel. I'd have to go back and watch it and see where he actually, if he fills it up or if he just stuffs a cork in an open bottle. I've watched that movie so many times, it's crazy. Anywho, J&B Rare. The finish is just about worked out now. It's very, you get more up front. It quickly kind of dissipates and then slowly lingers its way out. It's a good finish. It's a much, much better finish than that Cutty Sark. Coming in at the same price, I'd rather have the boldness of the J&B Rare. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, thanks for stopping by here at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. Definitely a good one.